A fire erupts, it feels divine. The world is glowing, all is mine. The fire begins its brilliance, a flood of light that blinds my doubt. I feel as though I know what everything is about. The sky is bright and my eyes see everything good. But when this high ends, it will leave me feeling misunderstood. The days are too short and my mind is new, and I feel there is nothing I cannot do. Time bends, dissolves, the hours flee. A boundless universe pours through me. I can run faster than the wind, but in the near future my knees will bend. Colors shimmer louder than sound. My feet don't touch the waiting ground. I feel overcome with confidence and energy. I have a fire within, but that was not me. My whole body is filled with glee. I run and skip through my days, but this is a high that never stays. My mind doesn't ache, it feels sublime. But I will come crashing back down in time. I never want to wake my dream in mind, but I will crash and burn as fast as I shine. The low is low, but the high is high. To my mania, I always hate to say goodbye. In the moment I feel so free, but I am never truly me. I talk too fast and laugh too loud. I cannot think rationally and become oh so proud. The world is filled with endless possibilities, and I have no responsibilities. My racing thoughts feel lively and bright, but this is always followed by another dark night. It's like my mind flipped a switch. I feel I could succeed at any niche. My mind feels like a racing train. It spirals up, but soon only shame will remain. It is hard to believe that that was me, although I wish in reality I felt that free. Yet even here, this blazing height, I know the fall waits out of sight. But for this moment, fierce, divine, the fire burns and it is mine. My racing thoughts, they never sleep. I climb too high, the ground too steep. A fire burned brightly in my mind. It burned too bright into reality. I was blind, I was chaos, sharp and bright. I feel like I'm alive all night. The morning after feels like sin. I wish I could rid this shame from within. Who was that girl? 'Cause it was not me. She was not tender but wild, untamed but free. She fired off words so rapidly, she thought it would last forever so happily. But I do not know that girl who laughed too loud. She was a tornado of chaos and oh so proud. But soon the glitter starts to fade, and in its place regret is laid. But the chaos she created is mine to claim. I hate my past some days, and I feel I'm the only one to blame. Maybe all the shame was not my fault. I still try to lock it deep inside like a vault. It was not my fault. I faced all those troubles, but holding it inside, my shame just doubles. Yet the storm still comes and overtakes me. A shame I hold deep inside so no one can see. The bridges burn, the words I threw return in echoes harsh and true. The morning light reveals the cost of fleeting highs and moments lost. I know my mind was not my own. Sometimes I wish my own mind I could disown. I was wild, but I hate to say could not be blamed. The shame, it clings, a heavy chain, a quiet weight, a ghost of pain. I hide my face, I turn away from things I did in yesterday, but my past follows me around like an echo. Yet I try not to let my pain and shame show. But sometimes from my past self I feel so estranged. This illness is not all of me, but from the shame and stigma I will set myself free. That shame is only borrowed woe. If only they could see it clear. The ache is not what I hold dear. I am not shame, nor curse, nor blame. I am still human, all the same.
These demons keep me up at night. Sometimes I wanna give up this fight. Every day feels like a battle I cannot win. Some days I want to give in to the ultimate sin.
I cannot let the pain of this world beat me. I will not let this darkness defeat me. I know there is some way out deep in my heart. My broken mind just will not let me restart. Even though I know some days will be dark, and those days will always leave their mark. My heart feels as though it has turned to stone, and the next battle always feels unknown. But I know there will be better days. I just have to find my way out of this dark, dark haze. The darkness can sometimes overcome me, and I feel as though I no longer want to be. I have to find my strength within. I refuse to let these demons win. I know I will see better days, even though sometimes my mind feels like a dead-end maze. Some days I feel like I do not belong here. Some days I wanna give in to all my fear. I cannot let the pain of this beat me, even though it feels as though they could easily defeat me. I must find a strength I thought was lost. I have to find it, no matter the cost. The sun will shine and I will find myself again. I refuse to let the pain of this world win. There is a light within, if I can find it, I would walk through hell to reignite it. I just have to find a little spark, then I find my way out of the dark. There is something in me that refuses to let the darkness win. I will never let myself give in. I must keep searching for the light of my heart. I do not want to willingly depart. How do you find light in the dark? I would do anything to find that spark. The demons say a light can never be found. I would fight them to drown out their sound. Sometimes it feels like this battle will never end, but it is my life I must defend. Although a war wages inside me, I will not let it blind me. I know that I can win this war within. The alternative would be my greatest sin. Each day I continue to fight for the light
I continue to dig and call for my spark. I search for my spark in the dark of my heart, for with it I will make a new start. I will not let these demons win. I refuse to let them lead me to the greatest sin. They do not want me to continue on. They do not want me to see another dawn. They try to make darkness their home in my mind. So I know it is light I must find. This darkness sometimes feels like home. It feels like all I have ever known. I must forgive my heart and mind, or I will forever be blind. If I can learn to love me, I know from these demons I will be set free. I know that only love can win this war within. The demons want me to meet my end. Some days I think the love for myself is completely gone. Those days it feels impossible to go on. I must forgive my broken mind and all my frozen heart, for it is love I must find. I need to find a love for my own heart. I have to let my light heal the broken part.
My mind I cannot trust sometimes. This turbulent track is filled with the hardest climbs. My mind was headed for another breakdown. With all the heavy thoughts in my head, I might drown. How can I know which path to trust? Sometimes I feel the path is turning to dust. I try to close my eyes, but I stumble. This long winding path has made me humble. I believe this path has made me stronger, but it just keeps growing longer. I walk through this cold wilderness. I still try to treat myself with tenderness. My mind can sometimes take a wrong turn, and it can make my heart burn. I try to gently mend my hurting heart. Sometimes it feels like it has been torn apart. What do you do with a mind that cannot be trusted? Sometimes it has to be readjusted. Through, I know to myself I must be true. I look for light in the dark. With it I will set a new mark. But I do not know what I am looking for. Sometimes it feels like there should be an open door. It started to rain in my heart again. It has to end, but I do not know when. I long for some light in this storm, but the storm just takes on a new form. I see a flash of lightning up ahead, but my mind is filled with dread. I saw a glimpse of a path in the light. I must fight to get it right. sun. I wish this damage could be undone. I try to readjust my tired eyes. I long for blue skies. I fear the storm will never clear, but I also fear the end is near. I try to trust each step of my feet. This will not end in my defeat. I try to heal my broken heart and mind, 'cause this brokenness has left me blind. I know I must keep pushing through to myself. I must be true.
I have to turn this train around, otherwise it will run straight into the ground. I try to look back at the winding track. Sometimes it feels like my mind is under attack. I feel like I am headed for a breakdown. Either that or I will crash face down into the ground. There must be another way on this track. I must find a way to go back. Is there a way to put it in reverse? It feels like there is no way it could get worse. But if this track only goes one way, there is no way I can stay. It spirals down, down and further down. I fear it will not be long before it crashes into the ground. I fear I will not survive the crash. If I put it in reverse, I fear a backlash. I try to turn it around, because I do not want to break down. Sometimes a breakdown is for the best. Maybe I just need a little rest. Although it may feel like I failed, at least it is not derailed. Maybe I can gently roll to a stop, then put it in reverse and head back toward the top. I try to gently and quickly press the brakes. This may be hard, but I know the stakes. I gently hug myself as I come to a stop. Down my face, I feel one tear drop. I do not know how I made it this far down, but I am thankful I did not crash into the ground. Maybe this breakdown was a blessing, even if the track down was rather depressing. I look up at the steep winding track. I know I can find my way back. They say God does not give you more than you can
it is here I always stay. I feel trapped by my shattered mind. Some days it feels like life has left me behind. I long for a bright new day. There has to be a better way. I wish I knew which path to trust. I know in God my path I must entrust. But my mind plays tricks on me. It feels like I will never be set free. They say you reap what you sow. Yet another reason not to let my pain show. I feel overcome with shame. There is no one else to blame. I long for some rest in my heart and mind. Sometimes I feel like life has left me blind. I try to focus on the path ahead of me. If only there was a way I could see. I know the way will become clear. I just have to hold my heart near. When I stop to think all I have overcame, I know there is no reason to feel all this shame. I know I'm not broken beyond repair. I have to treat myself with love and care. I know there is a path that will lead to my redemption. I have to stop with my negative premonition. I try my hardest to stay humble, 'cause my pride will just make me stumble. My mind can sometimes make me fall, but I have to remember to get back up and stand tall. It is okay to have a bad day, but in the darkness I will not stay. I will not let the shame overcome me. I know someday I will be set free. If I can see the light within, I will be able to see again. I must forgive my own broken mind. I am tired of feeling blind. Real, it has put me through a great ordeal. I have reaped what I have sown. The future is unknown. I feel like the tides must turn. A little more happiness I must earn. I must try to find a way to turn around. I am tired of feeling like I am about to drown. I see light in this darkness. I will not let it make me heartless. I release all this shame. I will no longer feel all the blame. I give it to God and try to find some peace. I know soon all my pain will cease. Karma has made its raid. I know my debts are repaid. I have wallowed long enough. It is time to show that I can be tough. Karma's played its dirty game, but it feels like I will never be the same. I find a way back to the light. I will trust God and do what is right. I am tired of living in this purgatory. I will return to all God's glory. myself too. That is the hardest thing to do. I must find a love for myself again. The self-loathing will only lead me to sin. I've lived too long in this darkened shame. I forgive myself and release the blame. I will find a way to be whole. It is the only way to save my soul.
No one heard my silent cry. Through the times I thought I would rather die. I was afraid the truth would be too loud to share my pain. I was too proud. I feel all the pain of my shame. I feel I am the only one to blame. But my heart wounds are deep, and into my mind I do not let them creep. I would rather live in this darkness, but the darkness has left me heartless. But the darkness pokes and prods me until all I long to do is see. I've walked through life so hurt and blind. I know it is peace and love I need to find. I walk through life with a blinded heart, and I still feel the pain of it in every part. I long to see, but I just remain numb to my feelings. I refuse to succumb. I know I do not face the hurt and shame, and I will truly be forever to blame. I do not want to walk forever in the dark, but yet I'm still afraid to embark. Sometimes it feels easier to feel nothing. I still wish to just feel something. I thought I lost myself in the shame, but I am done playing karma's game. I will once again live my life. I will no longer live in constant strife. I tried to open my weary eyes. I refuse to live a life of lies. I have to face the humility. I know I have the ability. I have lived so long with the guilt. I know my life can be rebuilt. I am afraid to feel anything again, but I am most afraid to feel the shame of my sin. I know if I can awake my dormant heart, I will feel again, and I fear to awaken the broken part. But I know I am not really living life now. I long to live again, but do not know how. I will find myself again. I refuse to end my life in sin. I must find a love for my heavy heart. I must find a way to heal the broken part. The darkness has taught me to be humble. I will remember that anytime I stumble, I hide all the pain behind my eyes. But I can finally see through the darkness disguise. I face the pain within my heavy heart. I will love myself with every part.
It is the hardest thing to do, but it is why I need to keep pushing through. I have to forgive myself first, 'cause that is the pain that hurts the worst. I long to be whole again. Living in the darkness has been my greatest sin. I will find a way to thaw my frozen heart. I will find a way to heal every part. My broken mind is another story. I will find a way to bring it back to its former glory. I pushed my mind past its breaking point. I left myself feeling nothing but disjoint. I broke my heavy heart along the way. Now in this darkness I always stay. I will find peace in this thunderous storm. My broken mind can take on a new form. I will keep looking for ways to heal my pain. I will not let this journey end in vain. I will no longer be numb to this life. I will not live in this constant strife. I will find a way to heal my shattered soul. I will once again be made whole. I must keep on pushing through to myself. I must be true. I seek a way that only I can understand. It is my path and I will not be damned. I break down from time to time. It has been the only respite for my hurting mind. My heart aches as it begins to feel again. I know I must walk away from this life of sin. I try to be gentle with my shattered mind. A brighter tomorrow I know I can find. I long for a greater inner peace. With it I know the pain will cease. I wander through this life so blindly. I still try to treat myself kindly. Try to feel the light that I cannot see. I know there is a way for me to be me. I long for the self that I have lost. I know that I must find it no matter the cost. The pain has cost me part of my soul. I will find a new way to be whole. If I can accept what is broken inside, I feel there will finally be a new tide. I must accept the mistakes I have made. I have let karma make its raid. I felt all the pain that I had caused. I will take a minute to feel it while I keep life paused. I know that I can find a way to make it through. To my own heart I say, I love you. My frozen heart begins to thaw. I take a minute to stand in awe. I did not know how strong it had become. Out of the darkness I feel a thrum. It beats steady once again. I take another moment to just take it in. I feel a weight lift that I did not know. I carried all the pain I had kept buried. I know that it will take time, even though I wish I could turn it around on a dime. But I refuse to continue to be blind. My inner peace I begin to find. I will shed all the parts that live in the darkness. I will leave it behind and not let it leave me heartless. I try to open my tired eyes. I feel I can start to see through the disguise. I have lived so long in my heart begin to grow warmer, I know I can turn this corner. My tired eyes begin to regain their sight. I will not give up this fight. I see myself through the light within, and I'm so glad I never gave in. I have become stronger through this pain. I feel myself start to release the shame. I walk this dark path alone. It is the only path I have known. But the sun shines down upon me, and I feel as though I know who I should be. My eyes begin to see the color of this world again. The darkness within was truly my greatest sin. I feel a glory forming within me, and I see all that was meant to be. I have come out so much stronger. This long winding path just took much longer. I know it was my broken mind that made me stumble, but from here on out I will remain humble. I have some inner peace, and with that I feel the pain slowly decrease. I take in the light within my heart with new eyes. I am so thankful I finally saw through the darkness disguise. In my shoes, in my shoes. You cannot possibly understand. I feel the weight of all the demand. They say pressure turns coal to diamonds in time. I would do anything to feel sublime. This pressure just breaks me down until I feel like I am going to drown. I never let the weight of it show the truth of my pain. No one will ever truly know. I am trapped in the pain of this cage. Sometimes I wish I could break the walls down with my rage. But even some rage I cannot muster. I have lost all my luster. To break free every day, but it feels as though I will always feel this way. I just try to keep an open mind. A way out I know I must find. Sinking and drowning, I reach for a hand. I must reach out and take a stand. I will dig and claw my way out of this darkness. Sometimes I feel like it has left me heartless. I feel the diamond within me forming. That is when the darkness comes swarming. If I can stay strong just a little while longer, I know I will keep on getting stronger. way to fix this pain within, a way to break through the darkness of my sin. But I must forgive my own broken soul. I must find to make a diamond out of the coal. If I can see the beauty in my heart, I can find a way to heal the broken part. It may not be a perfect fix, but I am done falling for Satan's tricks. I try to remember who made me. I must not let the enemy downgrade me. I can be whole and happy again. To end it now would be my greatest sin. The devil wants to keep me down, 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 until I am deep in the ground. I must go mining there, the darkness of my heart. I must digging and sift through the darkest part. The strength I must muster, I will find my luster. I see a sparkle from the diamond within. I am glad that I never gave in. I stand on the other side of the storm. The sky takes on a new form. A rainbow and sunshine straight ahead, and to think I was just filled with dread. I no longer feel all the weight. This is my true fate. Although the storms may again rumble, I will remember to stay humble. I know that I can weather any storm. I will embrace my new form. I have come out stronger. I just had to hang on a little longer. The journey was worth the price. Another path would not have sufficed. I am grateful for where I stand. I am glad I fulfilled every demand. I love myself, I know I do. I even love the broken parts too. I felt like giving up when the days were too dark, but I knew somehow I must reignite my spark. I longed for some respite for my hurting heart. I longed for healing for the deepest wounded part. My mind fought a silent war. I felt the turmoil of it down to my core. The tears would no longer fall. It was like I could feel nothing at all. I longed to feel anything, even the pain. I felt as though feeling nothing would drive me insane. I felt stuck and numb through it all, and out of the darkness I began to crawl. I had to face the wounds I forgive my broken heart and mind a new purpose in life. I know I can find my soul can finally start to heal. I will once again begin to feel. I have wandered so long in the dark on a new path I will embark. I try to open my once blinded eyes. I begin to see through the darkness disguise. I begin to see through the light within. I am so glad I did not let the darkness win. I see the world with eyes anew. I am glad the light finally broke through. I feel the pain begin to fade. I see beginning to form all the things I prayed on my darkest days. I prayed for a light and I now finally regain my sight. It did not have to be this hard, but God, my free will did not discard. I know the darkness was of my own accord. I felt as though I did not deserve to be restored. God gave me time to feel the pain and shame. He gently began to call out my name. He longed for me to come back to the light. He was there with me on my darkest night. I know he longed for my long last return, but he had to allow me to feel the burn. I started to long to return to his love. I knew the love was longing from above. I still have a long way to go, but I feel a light within starting to glow. I will take it one step at a time. I know with God out of this darkness I can climb. I keep my eyes on my feet. I am glad I never accepted defeat. The devil wanted to keep me down, but I kept going and did not drown. I could have drowned in my shame, but I now know the devil is to blame. I let it go and give it to God. I know he loves me even though I am flawed. I slowly begin to feel all of his love again. Turning my back to him was my greatest sin. I will follow the light and find my purpose. I feel my light coming to the surface. This little light of mine, I am going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I am going to let it shine. I still have a long way to go. I have reached another plateau. Oh, my eyes feel so tired and heavy. I do not know if I am ready. Oh, I see the sun setting far from me. I know I have to keep going, I can be free. I feel the chains allowed to bind me. I know with God I can break free. I begin to slowly walk back into the shadows. I have to rest now and face my woes. Ooh. I have to continue to stoke the fire in my heart. I have not yet fully healed the deepest wounded part. The wounds of my heart are so deep, and into my mind the darkness begins to creep. I try to rest my weary eyes. I am tired of believing all the enemy's lies. I close my eyes and pray to God. I know he loves me even though I'm flawed. It was easier to climb the one steep landscape. In this valley, my mind I cannot escape. I have
have an inner turmoil I cannot defeat. I must find a way to be complete. Oh, I can begin to turn away, but hear God call my name. The devil wants me to feel all the shame. I am locked in a war between shame and love. I feel both sides pulling on me stronger from above. I try to look up, but I'm filled with doubt. I begin to cry and long to shout. I long to shout out to my Lord. I do not because I am afraid to be ignored. I feel the fear creep back into my mind. I do not want to once again be blind. I have let the darkness back inside my heart. I feel the fire within quickly depart. I have once again fallen into the black. My mind is back under constant attack. I do not know how once again to find the light. I have a feeling this is gonna be my darkest night. I am cold and alone, lying on the hard earth. I try to remember all I am worth. I will praise you in this dark, and on a new day I will re-embark. But it begins to rain, and I long for light. I do not know how I will make it through this night. I long to hear you through this thunderous storm. I remind myself I was made in your form. I see lightning bright in the sky. I see glimpses of light right when I thought I would rather die. To face the darkness after I saw the light, I know I will have the dark to fight. I try to remember how to see through the darkness disguise. I have to try to reopen my tired eyes. I will rush my way through this dreary night. I know in the morning there will be a new light. I long for rest, but I toss and I turn. I do not want to feel this burn. Slowly but surely the minutes pass by, and into sleep I drift and fly. In my dreams I long to feel God's love, but the devil wants me to believe I am unloved. Oh, a battle I still fight in my mind. I know my inner purpose I must find. God made me for a perfect reason. In myself I must see what he sees, and I wake from a restless night of sleep, and again all the darkness begins to creep. I try my hardest to stay in the light, but the darkness will not give up without a fight. I look for the light, it is the only way to regain my sight. I see a spark through dark. I know that you have left your mark. I can feel your love burning in my heart. It breaks the dark stone walls apart. The walls fall from my heart. I feel my heart restore. God's love lights my heart from within. I will follow him and turn from my sin. I know there will be dark days, but with God's love my heart's light will blaze. The darkness will play its tricks, especially when I'm faced with life's conflicts. But I will remember God's love and try to stay in the light. With each day I continue to regain my sight. I long for peace deep in my soul. My sin has left a great hole. Oh, I follow where God's love can only lead me, and I know I can finally be set free. Satan wants to keep me in his chains, but with the Lord I know who reigns. God alone for my love. The greatest love comes from above.
I may have started as a tiny, minuscule seed, buried in the dark and not knowing my own need. But in the darkness I started growing. I did not know where I was going. It felt as though I was breaking as I grew. But finally I see I can make it through. Now the roots have begun to form. I know I can make it through any storm. I know the way will become clearer as I grow. I have to let my inner self show. I try to focus on what is ahead of me. If only there was some way I could see. I may still not know up from down, but with my God I know I will not drown. I long to find my inner purpose. I must bring my light to the surface. I know I am here for a reason. I feel this could finally be my season. With the rains and storms that I've passed, I break through the earth and feel the sun at last. It's my time to grow and shine. It is time for my stars to align. I will no longer just exist. It is time for my plot to twist. I will let the light in my heart grow. I know I can do it if I take it slow. One day at a time as I search for my strength. One day at a time I can go any length. I have to start living again. I cannot concentrate on what could have been. Living in the past is no way to live this life. I am done with living in constant strife. I will follow my dreams and pursue my purpose. I'll keep growing till my dreams come to the surface. And I am now growing in the truth that God has shown, that my purpose is something God made me for His own. I know it will not always be easy and bright, but if I keep going I can brighten my inner light. I will push past my comfort zone. This I refuse to continue to postpone. I have grown through my struggles and pain. I will not let it all be in vain. A new bud and I'll feel form a beautiful flower. I know from God I will find the power. I have to remember to stay humble. There will still be times when I will stumble. I can find a way that my dark past can help others. I long to bring light to all my sisters and brothers. I know what it is to live in the dark. On my new path I will finally embark. I can spread my light to those who are lost. I will have to face some pains, but it is worth the cost. I have so much love in my heart. I long to share it with the world and do my part. I now see that I finally sow my fruitful seeds. I can grow my light and continue to go where God leads. I'm proud of how far I have come. I came out of the dark and am no longer numb. I will grow the fruits I was born to bear. This will be the answer to my deepest prayer. I will continue to grow and share my heart. This is why I am here. I finally will do my part. This fruit will fulfill my inner purpose. I feel more branches breaking through the surface. I can share this fruit with hungry hearts. I feel this is finally where my purpose starts. I do not regret the struggles and growing pains. I am proud I broke through the devil's chains. I see how my story can help others who long to grow. I will keep going and continue my seeds to sow. I will sow new seeds of peace and love. I know the right way will be lit with the light from above. I will share my fruit with the world's hungry hearts. I know with God I can show others how to find their fresh starts. I see that these fruits bear seeds, and I will go wherever God leads. I finally come out of the dark and will stay in God's light. I can help others who are facing their darkest night, to help feed the hungry souls who long to grow. This is a hard path, but I will let my light show. God gave me this light to share. I know there's nothing with Him I cannot bear. Sharing the light from above is my new mission. This is my life's true ambition. I can show us the way to break their dark and stony heart. I will continue to follow the light until from this world I depart.
These seeds can be carried and in new places be buried. Each seed is a gift from God. He loves all, even those who are flawed. With each new seed that is planted, I will not take a single seed for granted. The new seeds begin to grow. They all have their own inner glow. Each life on this earth must know its own worth. We grow through what we go through. We will all see when we are due. Some seeds take longer to grow, but they still in time begin to glow. I remain rooted, but feel my heart growing. I may be here, but my seeds are sowing, and I feel my inner light grow stronger. I am so grateful I hung on a little longer. With the winds of the storms that have come blowing, the wind continued to do the sowing. I felt lost when the storm was passing. I did not see what I was bypassing. I may have felt heavy and lost in the eye of the storm, but I now truly see that I was made in your form. God gave me this strong foundation. I can now see past my old hesitation. I had to dig my way out of the darkness. I am so grateful I did not become heartless. I may still long to wander, but I stay rooted here. I now know that God has always been near. I see the old path now in the sun. I can now see all my God has done. That path was headed off the cliff. Thank God I stopped here to sift. I sifted through the hard earth. I had to keep going until I saw my worth. I found soil so rich deep down inside. I'm glad from God I did not continue to hide. I dug a valley into the plateau, and I was thinking I had so far to go, but now my roots are strong in my worth. I see buds beginning around me to pop through the earth. All this time I thought I was alone. Now I see all that God has grown. I see the beautiful seeds poking through the ground. I now see all of God's glory, and I have been found. I feel that I have finally found The sky darkens and takes on a new form. I long to hear God but cannot over the storm. I now see how it is God that brings the rain. I now know these storms are not in vain. The little sprouts blow in the wind. You know that all have sinned, but the rain brings with it new life. The buds break through after the rise. Their roots are becoming connected. Not a single seed should be neglected. I feel the strength of each bud grow, and these are God's seeds that are sowing. I am just here to spread peace and love. These are my gifts from above. God made each person in his own form. He made each one of us to weather any storm.
A wound once carved so deep in me, it echoed like an endless sea. A silence heavy, sharp, unkind, a scar imprinted on my mind. How do you forgive what you cannot forget? Sometimes it feels like I am paying someone else's debt. I carried a heavy heart with many wounds. With all the pain, my mind was consumed. These wounds have left me in chains, and the lock on my heart still remains. I lived so long in the darkness and shame. I know I stayed there too long. In myself I blame, but I know true forgiveness comes from deep in the heart. I know if I can forgive it, will help heal the deepest wounded part. I know this wound was not made out of malice, but on my heart it still created an unbreakable callous. To forgive is not to just forget, but I'm tired of living life with pain and regret. I long to be healed of the deep wounds of my heart. I do not want to keep carrying all this weight until I fall apart. Wounded people can hurt others deeply. I know I will not heal until I forgive completely. I have to forgive myself too. That is the hardest thing to do. We all have wounds on our hearts that can tear others apart. Oh, I hope I am forgiven for the way I wounded others' heart. I pray forgive me my trespasses as I forgive others. I know this is the price of our druthers. They say you cannot heal until you truly forgive. I forgive them in my heart, but some days the pain I still relive. I do not want to hold grudges in my heart. These carry burdens have only torn me apart. I see how my wounds have caused
To forgive is not to lose the fight, but to reclaim your stolen light. I ask for forgiveness from those I harmed. I know my burdened mind can be disarmed. Jesus died to forgive all our sins. If we do not forgive others, the devil wins. I do not want to live with shame and pain. I know without it, I have so much to gain. I forgive all those who left wounds on my heart, and I ask forgiveness for the wounds I didn't impart. I long to spread peace and love. I know true healing comes from above. I pray I may know God's true love for all someday. I know I must understand and forgive that way. Jesus said, forgive them, they know not what they do. I know that is the love others need to forgive me too. I will not let hate chain my heart. I will forgive if it will break that lock apart. I pray every day for love and peace. It is the only way my pain and shame will cease. I get on my knees and ask, forgive me when I pray. I know that God knows even when I don't know just what to say. The wound once chained me to the past. Forgiveness broke the lock at last.